So today I want to talk about a new feature that we just got in Godot 4.5, that feature being variadic arguments. So a variadic argument is basically an argument that you can add to a function, and if we put the 3 dots or the 3 periods right before the name of the argument, this will basically tell Godot that we can now pass in any number of arguments to this function, and it will condense them all into a single array. So if I called this custom function I have in, let's say, the ready function, I would be able to pass in any number of arguments, and I can just loop through that list of arguments and print them all like so. Now, the main benefit of using a variadic function that I've found is you don't need to condense all of the items into an array before you pass it to the function. But if you remember, you've probably already seen this pattern before in the print function. Print is obviously a built-in function that we get in GDScript, and it has the same kind of thing where you can pass in any number of arguments, and it will basically condense those all into a single output or print message that we get in this bottom panel. So you're probably thinking to yourself, like, is this new system even useful? And that's what I kind of want to answer in this video. I have this example right here, which is a common place that you might use a variadic function, and that is for basic math functions. So you can see right here, I have a sum function. It doesn't require a specific amount of numbers, but you can pass in any number of arguments, and it will basically condense them all into one single number and return the result of all those values added together. And same thing for my average function here. It's also utilizing this new variadic system and returning the result of all the numbers added together and then divided by the size of my values. So this obviously gives us the average, and you can see I'm using these functions in the ready, just printing the sum of different ranges of numbers and also the average, like you can see. But in general, I think basic math operations like what I've shown here are a great place to actually use variadic functions. The other example I have is a bit more niche, and I am honestly not sure how much I like this, but I could see myself using it for similar systems, or even like it would be really good for prototyping. But it's essentially creating a new enemy, which is a common thing you might do. And usually when you create a new object, you have some sort of like a setup function, or maybe even like a constructor where you can pass in initial values that you'd like to apply to that new instance. And what I've done is inside of this setup function, which is obviously in my enemy class, I have required the health and attack to be set. And these will obviously just apply those to our local variables here. But I've used the new variadic system in the case of this extra properties argument. My thought behind this is if I want to set an additional like random property on this enemy, I can define the string name of the property, and then the following entry of this extra properties array would be the value that I want to assign that property to. And to actually accomplish what I've explained here, I'm just looping through the size of my extra properties divided by 2, and then treating every 2 entries as kind of like a pair. You can think of it like a dictionary, and just using the set function to actually apply that property. But kind of back to this script, what it allows me to do is we're passing in my health, my attack when we set up the enemy, but then I also want to pass in, hey, let's set the modulation to the color red, and let's set the scale to vector 2,2. And because this is variadic, I have another enemy that's being set up down here where I'm setting the modulation to blue, but because I don't have a specific order or a specific number of additional properties that I may want to set, I'm also just passing in, hey, I want to set the position to this, and I want to set the rotation to 90. But those are the 2 places where I find myself probably using variadic functions in the future. I'll pin a comment on this video if you guys have any like better or more interesting use cases for variadic functions that I will try to keep updated. But in conclusion, I think, yes, variadic functions are definitely usable. I think it's very rare to come across a case where like a variadic function would be essential, because really the only place where I'd want to use a variadic function is probably like a print function, and that's obviously already defined in GDScript. So I would give them probably like a 3 or a 4 out of 10 on the usefulness scale that I'm just defining right now. But again, let me know if you guys have any cool use cases in the comments. But yeah, that's about it for this video. So quick shout out to all of the channel members. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are awesome. And thank you to everyone who stayed around till the end of the video. If you want to see more game dev or Godot content, consider subscribing. And if you want to check out like the Discord server and some other links, those are obviously in the description. But I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you guys in the next one.